We good now.
Hi, welcome to the Hope to Hope conference. This is an amazing day full of amazing people. I am Kim White with the My Sexy Business team, and I'm here with the famous founder of the Crystalline Movement, Miss Connie Myers.
Hi, everyone.
Yay! She is co-hosting for us because Dr. Cassandra Bradford Wilson of Genesis Preferred Solutions is supposed to be my co-host, but she acted like getting this award today that she's getting was more important. I mean, she just can't, we never know what she's gonna do. So, we didn't get an award today.
No, we did not.
So we're here with y'all. We're hanging with y'all. And she had to jet off to get her award. So she, you know
So
her.
you're stuck with me.
No, we're glad you're here. And we have someone who I have to tell you, I admire greatly. I have met her several times, and every time I meet her, I learn something new about her and something about what she does. And I am blessed and honored to know this lady. I just can't wait to introduce you. We have on the session this morning for the Hope to Hope conference, we have the Sherry Donahue Brown. The Sherry Donahue Brown. Welcome to the Hope to Hope conference, Miss Sherry.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity with Hope to Hope. And you're saying the Sherry Donahue Brown. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Miss Sexy, Miss Kim White. So yes, thank you so much, Miss Sexy.
Thank you. I think you're pretty sexy though too.
Well, I am.
That's right. That's right. Well, now I don't want to get anything wrong, so you correct me. But I know you're an author of. Tell me the name of the books.
Book. This is my first book. It's entitled The Voiceless Child: 7 Keys to Discovering Your Purpose and Unlocking Your Destiny.
Okay, and then you have and I don't know. I have some insider information about you as well that you actually have the biggest program in Texas
And
for what?
well, in Tarrant County, I am a state provider, and um, I provide services for individuals with intellectual disabilities. And so, yes, we are large in Tarrant County. We are the largest actually in Tarrant County.
Well,
Wow.
I'm impressed because I know that what you do makes a huge difference in a lot of lives. And you are talked about a lot. I just want to say that. You are on the lips of a lot of people because of the things that you have done. You don't know who you've touched that we may know. And I am proud of you. Like I am just so proud of what you're doing to bless so many people.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's just truly, it's really an honor to be chosen by God to serve others. And that's really just how I look at it. It's not like I am really trying to be on anybody's radar. I'm really a behind the scenes kind of person. And I stay in my office and it's like I do what I do. And that's it. That's it. It's like these are my four walls. This is my corner. Let me just do what I do. And that's what I do.
And then God sends Dr. Cassandra and a princess to come drag you kicking and screaming to ta-da!
Yeah. Yes. And that's why I said, okay. And it's truly a balancing act because, primarily if I'm in my office and everything, I don't do it's like, okay, well, I don't do my book thing. And really, none of my people know that I'm an author. And then it's like, I'm trying to keep the fact that I'm a provider away when I speak. And it's like, some kind of way, the two just kind of keeps coming together. I'm like, what is wrong with this?
It's supposed to come together.
Exactly.
Dr. Cassandra and I both agree on that one. And we are proud of you because we've watched you grow and watched you do things. And I feel like Dr. Cassandra called it right yesterday, that we are like midwives. We're so excited about what is going on with you that we just want to push you. I can see that Dr. Cassandra told you to sit up straight and to smile. I mean, she's like on you already, girly.
I spoke with her briefly yesterday, but that was it. She knew that I was in audit, and she's already said, "Oh, Sherry's in audit. I don't talk to her." And I think everybody knows that, like when Sherry's in audit, we don't talk to her. And I don't know. I think being a teacher and doing different things, it's like you just know these are things that you're just supposed to do.
Well, I didn't get the rule book or the memo, and so I'm like a princess. I mean, you told me you're in audit, but that only meant, okay, well, call me back. I don't have the same filter system that Dr. Cassandra does. She's good about being like mindful of those things, but I'm like, no, we got this to do.
Actually, the state didn't get that memo because my audit was actually on my husband and our 19th wedding anniversary. And so it was this week. And I was like, okay, so everybody's supposed to know that our anniversary is priority, and they didn't get that memo either. So, yeah. So it's okay.
Well, you should have called. We would have called them.
Straighten them out.
I guarantee you, Dr. Cassandra would have been on it.
Yes.
Well, this conference is very important to us because we have a heart to serve, and we have a heart to help those that are discouraged. Because, when you are, and it can be personal or in business, but when you're going through life, things just happen. Like, there are some things that people inflict on us. There are some things that we inflict on ourselves. And, life can be difficult. And that's just part of the process. But we don't have to stay in those places. And this conference is to really expose the power of vulnerability. When we're honest about what we're going through and we're open about what's going on. So can you tell us a time in your life that you were vulnerable, and be vulnerable with all of us about something you've gone through, that you're on the other side of it and you can see the power that came from it, so that you can give someone listening hope today?
My life is really a testament of God's grace and God's mercy. And I am just so honored that he actually chose me. But more specifically, well, when I was a child, I was in foster care. I was adopted. Well, no, I was in foster care from the age of 5 to 18. And being in foster care, nobody really expects anything of you and from you. It's really disheartening, to say the least. And so I can honestly say that I grew up being the ward of the state, just listening to everything that the state said, and just really just following, just really not having a voice, which is where my Voiceless Child book, that's where the title comes from. You know, when you, it's like today's society, everybody's like, give the children a choice, give them a choice. But I grew up without a voice and without their choice. And so I can honestly say I've gone from being a ward of the state to being as a young single parent, being on state assistance. Yes, I was a single parent with two children. Um, I was on food stamps, WIC. Oh my goodness, AFDC. I remember my check, my 126 every month that I absolutely made it off, and I don't know how. And I don't know if you were on food stamps, but remember when food stamps were like really the food stamps, and like a $10 bill was brown and a $5 bill was maybe blue. I don't know if you remember that, but it's like, um, you actually had the paper money, and you would go in the store and you would spend that and everything. So I remember all of that so vividly, and it's like in order to receive like my cereal and the milk, it was like I had the WIC card and everything, and we had the cheese and oh, we got the cinnamon butter and everything. So I see the progression in my life. It's like being a ward of the state to being on state assistance, and to now it's like it's full circle, and now I'm a state provider. I have state contracts. And it's like the old folk used to say, who would have thunk it? And I know that is grammatically incorrect, but really if you just stop and you just look at it, it's like I'm less likely to have to be where I am at this moment. So yes, so those are some things that I absolutely remember, and it's like I'm honored to have been chosen by God, and I'm humbled.
You're so precious. And I think this is something that we get desensitized to because we hear so much about, foster care and foster kids and I'm just being real. My heart is touched because anybody that doesn't have, a home life that I want everybody to have a perfect life. That's what I want. But when I
Yes.
hear about the foster kids and everything, I don't think most of us ever think past the time that they're foster kids. It's like, where did those kids go? Because we just don't think past that. If you're a foster kid, somehow you just disappear because we don't think about them as grown-ups. We don't think about them, and I'm just talking about like the general public. I know you think about it. I know you're precious about it. But
Yes.
we just don't, are removed from that thinking of those kids are actually only kids for a short time.
And then what?
And then what happens? I
Well,
mean, you,
I went to college. I went on to college, and it was so strange, and it was like, what do you do? And I think as a child growing up, I had a great foster family. I did. And so I will never, ever, ever stop loving my family for taking me in. So I will never, ever stop loving them. And so I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful for them. And so I I went to college and I received a degree, and then I went to college again. I received an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's degree. So
Fantastic.
I never stopped, and it was like television was my friend, and so I was existing, but it was like I had an imaginary friend, and it was like I saw myself somewhere else.
Mhm.
And so
You
I
had vision.
always wanted to be somewhere else. It's like, you know what? There's more to life. Where, how can I get to this more? What do I need to do when the odds are already stacked against you? How can I get to this more that I see on television? How can I get to this vehicle? How can I get to this? And I remember when I was homeless and I was in Salvation Army, and I began to see different things, and it's like I think that God really began to speak to me, when I was lying in the bed all of those nights, with my children and everything, and it's like, okay, Lord, I know there's more. I know that you want me to do more. And it's like he just started to pour into me, and it's like I'm not going to live like this forever. One day I will have a home. One day I'm not going to be on this bus. When will that day come? I don't know, but it's coming soon. And it was like, you know what? But what I did was I learned to appreciate riding the bus. I learned to
Yes.
appreciate being in the Salvation Army. I learned to appreciate where I was on my way to where I was going.
You are one of the most grateful people I know. I mean, and I'll tell you the thought that I have about you, because when we were in Dallas and I can't remember the name of the hotel, but we were at one of the hotels. We were staying there. We were both speaking somewhere, and you walked in the lobby, and you just walked in with such a presence that if I didn't know who you were, I would have thought you were like a dignitary from somewhere, because you walked in and quietly and majestically owned that entire lobby. I mean, you were just so like royal. And I'm looking at you and thinking, I just want to go like stand next to her. She is definitely a princess, you know.
Wow. Wow.
You have a way about you that is just, I mean, it is just a precious, you have a quietness, you have a calmness, and you have I don't know, you just have a calming effect on people just being in your presence. And I loved being with you that day, but I also loved being with you on the Run Women's Tour. Dr. Cassandra knows how to pick out the cream of the crop when it comes to the tour, because you were there with us. And I don't know. I don't even know how to tell you. I love you, and I know she loves you so much. And we're just honored that you are blessing us with your royal presence. You know that, and I'm giggling because you and I were struggling this morning with technology. We'll be transparent.
Yes. Yes. No, I was stressing this morning with technology, because technology is not my strength. That's my husband's strength. I'm like, I do things, but technology is just not one of them. And I'm like, okay, and I'm so anal. I'm like, okay, if I don't know this in advance, I don't like to wait to the last minute. And it's like, oh my gosh, 30 minutes before, am I going to be able to do this? And da 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 da. So I said, Lord, help me, because I need to know this in advance. And He did not allow me to know it like way in advance. But I mean, and I like to be on time. And I felt like I'm going to embarrass her. I'm like, Lord, this is Princess. This is her conference, and I'm a guest, and and I'm totally embarrassing you. And what I won't ever do if I'm invited as a guest somewhere
No.
is really be late, be a disappointment, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's after 10 o'clock. So those were my stressors. And that's not what I do. And so that's what it was.
But I'm going to call you out on the other side of that, though, because we were on time. We have been working on it, but one of the reasons that I'm doing this conference this way is to demonstrate to our mastermind groups that we lead that you don't have to have all your ducks in a row. You don't have to have all of your things that you have to be perfect at. That's what this conference is about, is to give hope to people and not get hung up on the things that we were 3 minutes past 10 actually getting on because but we had been on for a while. We were just having to get the technology part, working. And so that's a being late, like, that's not acceptable. You weren't late. You were on time. But we have been learning along the way the technology. Lord knows I've been learning don't push buttons. That's what I've been learning. But just what you told me right before we went live blesses me because you are now empowered for the day. You did something you've never done before, and it was technology, which is not your favorite.
Yes.
It's not your favorite to be on camera. You are beautiful, and I don't know why you don't want to be on camera because you are such an example of, life happens and you just keep going. But I think it's funny that you said those words, I'm empowered for the day. It gave you some, and Dr. Cassandra's right. You got to sit up straight. You were empowered this morning.
Yes.
Well,
And I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry. I didn't
met you
hear.
before. I said I have not met you before, and it is really an honor to listen to your story. And I can tell you're empowered. So, I mean, your story will move and change a lot of people. I love how you've taken your journey because it's not about the destination; it's about the journey.
Right, right. And I tell everyone that, my journey isn't over yet. You know, I'm still I'm jogging on my journey. So that's what I'm doing now, and learning every step of the way. So,
Well, I don't know if we have any young listeners. I mean, but I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I would really like for you to speak to anyone that's in foster care or anyone that's been in foster care and they have allowed that temporarily, only temporarily, they have allowed that to get them stuck because they have a poor value of themselves because of that. Would you speak to that group and just give them something they can change today that will help them get out of that place of being stuck?
one thing that I really had to learn to do was well, actually a couple things. Number one, I had to focus on something else. I couldn't focus, and let me tell you what I mean by that. I couldn't focus on my situation or my circumstance that I was in at that moment. While I was there, I made the best of that situation. And it's like in your mind, you're not going to be there forever. So it's like, what is it that you want in life? Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? Get a vision. And it's like, even if you have to watch television like I did, because if you don't see it in your environment, you have to see it somewhere. See yourself as a
Yes.
homeowner. See yourself as a business owner. I didn't see myself as a business owner. I saw myself as an attorney, you know, in New York. So where do you see yourself? And number two, your mindset. Open your mind to receive every single thing. Number one, that God is saying to you. Number two, the positive things that's coming to you. And it's like where you are, the information that the social workers are giving you, take advantage of that. Take advantage of the programs that's there, because it's not the end of the world. And I know, even for myself, we focus a lot, we get stuck on the fact that we're not wanted. You know what?
Mhm.
I know we have to overcome that rejection, change that mindset, and know that you are wanted by the Most High, and that you were picked out to be picked on, but to be picked up by the one that's that's above. And He chose
Mm.
you to be picked up, and so you just really have to know that and show that in everything that you do. So that's what that's what it's all about. So if you can open your mind. Oh man, and change their mindset. You don't have to be negative all the time. Then that's when God really has the opportunity to lay his hands on you and in you and just really change it all around.
You are such a
That's
blessing.
very powerful. Very
Yes.
powerful. I'm sure somebody out there is going to find this very helpful in whatever position they're in.
And I want to address something that you said that I think is really important because you came from a background of feeling rejected or not wanted. You know,
Both.
being in foster care, I can only imagine because I wasn't, but I can only imagine that would stir up a lot of that. But there's a lot of people on this earth that feel that way just because we have been spoken into something that was not right. Like people have spoken into our lives. I remember one point in my life that someone told me I was too ugly to be used by God. And I held on to that for a little while because it's like, oh, I'm not a supermodel. I'm not a size 2. I'm not all the things that, the world puts on the covers of the magazines. I'm not. But to think that I should not be doing what I'm doing because I'm not that supermodel is crazy.
Absolutely.
But at the time, I bought it.
Yes. Yes, we do. And you know what? Kids can be cruel. Okay,
Mhm.
only because this is the week of our anniversary. I was a really, really, really skinny kid growing up. I'm like, in high school, I was still in like 12, 14, little kids' clothes or whatever. And so the kids were like really, really mean to me. And they were like, well, you never get married, you never do this. And I mean, my husband and I've only been married once. This is my only marriage, and we've just celebrated 19 years. And I have two sons,
And I,
and
and I have met
a college graduate. So, God is good.
Yes.
Definitely.
And he's very handsome on top of that.
Well, thank you. Yes. So,
He was,
and a lot of times people they will say things, and you know, um, we have to, because I was like that as well. I was, but God and God alone had to truly change that for me. God had to help me to get unstuck. And
Mhm.
so it's not what they say about me, because, like you say, who are they? But it's what God says about you. What does God say about you? And God is not they, God is bigger than they. And so, what did God say? Who did God say that you were? And, God said that, you know, I am beautiful, I am wonderful, I am all of these things, I can have stuff. So, that's where I am. And I want to look like a child of God. I want to act like a child of God. I want to think like I'm his daughter.
Mhm.
And I want to know
Well,
that.
you
And
also
so,
now where you were so cute coming in that lobby door. I had to do a double take because I thought maybe that your husband had your bags and stuff, and he's all like lovey to you, and I'm thinking, they got to be like VIPs to something. And then I realized it was you, and I'm like, I know you. I can come and stand by you.
But what's
Yeah,
crazy,
I'm really.
Princess, is that I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, Kim White is here. So I said, I really want to hear her. And I'm like, why am I and when you do that, it's like I I I said, okay, I have to act like I belong. I have to look like I'm not a rookie here because I've been an author for like what 3 or 4 months, and I'm like, okay, let me.
Well, I have a surprise for you, and I'm all excited because somebody's gonna video bomb us. Just so you know,
Okay,
we
so
we are going. We're adding the famous Dr. Cassandra Bradford Wilson this morning. Woo!
oh, Doc, good morning.
I'm supposed to have a day off with pay. And
Wait a minute, are you in your bed?
yes,
Okay.
You got that book done?
there, I can't answer that question 100%. Hey,
Good morning.
Well,
hey, Connie.
Hey, how are you doing, Dr. Cassandra? Good to see you.
I was trying to get some rest, but I saw my friend on the Hope to Hope conference, and I was like, wow, I got to sit here and listen to this. I miss you guys already. Hey, Sherry.
Good morning, Dr. Cassandra. How are you?
Sleepy?
No, I'm sleeping, Dr. Cassandra. It's Saturday morning, and I'm normally not up, so.
You're doing a great job,
Well, you
Sherry.
need to get your beauty rest,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Cassandra.
What did you say?
I said you need to get your beauty rest so that you're all ready for your award.
I would need more than what I got now to be all that beautiful. I probably need to go back to bed and wake up again.
I was telling on you that you were too good for us now that you're going to get an award, that you couldn't be with us today because you were out getting your award.
Oh, that's true. I got more work to do. So getting an award today, I got more work to do. But it's not about me, it's about Sherry and the Voiceless Child, the book that she has. So
And now, is it on Amazon?
It is on Amazon. It is on
And
Amazon.
do you have your website up?
I have a website for my webinar, and I have another one that's under construction, but you can hear me on my website. I mean, on my webinar. I'm sorry.
Okay, tell us the link so that we can get it put in the comments.
Okay, it is www.destinybydesignwebinars.com.
So say it one more time.
www.destinybydesignwebinars.com.
And anybody that wants to connect with you, like, should go and connect with you on Facebook or connect with you on the website because you are amazing. And I just want to say again, the whole thought of someone coming through the system, because that's what you did. You came through the system, but you didn't get systemized on the inside. You didn't get back into that cycle of making other people feel rejected and not accepted because you have such a heart for other people.
That is correct. That is correct. I, I would not and I cannot do anything myself I am, and I have to know, and I do realize that I am not my own. But I also know that I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. And so that's why I do what I do. And I do it as unto the Lord.
Well, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Sherry, you made a statement earlier that you were taken by the state. And I think I wrote in the comment that, when you were little, the state was the man, so to speak. But then the state ended up becoming your friend because you ended up becoming one of the largest state providers in your county. So what the enemy bad, God turned around for your good. And that same enemy, or the person that you thought was your enemy as a child, turned out to be your greatest ally. So all praises to God.
That is correct because, again, it wasn't me and it wasn't anything that I did. It was the plan that God had for me all along. It was the journey that he wanted me to go on. And so I couldn't stray from his journey. And actually being being in business and everything, that wasn't what I chose to do. First, I wanted to be an attorney. I saw myself walking up and down the stairs in New York City as an attorney in my little navy suits, my little mini skirts and everything, and my little 5-inch heels. So that's what I wanted to do. But God's plan was totally different. And now I love what I do. I love the lives that God has enabled me to touch every single day.
That's such a blessing.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you. I know Dr. Cassandra is too. We sit back and we play and we tease, but just to know you is a blessing. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Well, Sherry knows I'm her biggest cheerleader. So, other than her husband, Stafford.
Yes. Well, thank you, Doc.
Well, I need
Dr. Cassandra. I appreciate it. Yes, I call Dr. Cassandra Doc.
We call her the drug pusher.
I've embraced it.
Well, drug pusher or Doc? Okay.
Doesn't it sound a whole lot more fun though to tease her that she's a drug pusher?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you know that. I finally embraced my new title, and Kim, man, when I was there, I didn't get a break. She sprinkled breadcrumbs on my head and pushed me back into the room and told me, write that book. So you got the Kim today.
Oh, so
Did you
is
get
your
that
book
book
finished?
done?
Oh, Dr. Cassandra, you got everybody on you now.
I was just asking.
Good job, Sherry.
Don't let them influence you like that.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming on, and Dr. Cassandra, of course, we thank you for taking time to come on because I know you've got stuff going. We tease her, but she's super busy, and she has blessed us this week by being with us most of the time. When she has to go get this award thing, but she has absolutely been a blessing this week, and Roz was such a blessing, coming and doing things here. And I'm just proud of you all. I'm proud of being connected to you all. But Miss Sherry, thank you for coming on to the Hope to Hope conference. And thank you for being vulnerable, because it is definitely a powerful thing to hear your testimony is really what it is. Hear your story.
You are more than welcome. And I truly, first of all, I thank God. I thank God for you all. I thank God for the vision that He has given you. And I just truly thank you for the opportunity to come out and to share. So I would just pray that God continues to give you vision and those visions continue to come to pass. And thank you again for this opportunity and for allowing me to be a part of the vision that He has given you for this Hope to Hope conference.
Well, and it's really a pleasure for me to get to meet you. I cannot wait to read your book.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just pray that you're blessed by it.
Well, she will be. Dr. Cassandra, you want to sign us off?
Well, this is Cassandra Bradford Wilson with Genesis Preferred Solutions, and you've been watching the Hope to Hope conference with Sherry Donahue Brown, the author of The Voiceless Child.
And I'm Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. We are so glad you came. We'll have another session at 11:30, I think it is. We'll have another session at 11:30. So we'll be back in just a little while. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Love you.